Welcome back, you guys. I am Tassie, and today I'm having Korean food. So I drove all the way out to Eagan, which has has Hoban, which is my favorite Korean restaurant compared to the Korean restaurant here. Because there's two Hobans. There's one literally a block away from me, and then there's another one that's out in Eagan. It's about a good 20-minute drive. That one is a much better version of the Hobans out of the two, but their concepts are completely different. Like the Hoban here in Uptown, it's more of a Korean barbecue joint where you're grilling your own food, and then the Hoban out in Eagan is more of a family style restaurant. They have a buffet during lunchtime. They actually have like Gimbap, something really basic, like Gimbap is an appetizer. They have that there. And I actually ordered their kimchi pork fried rice, and I turned them into my onigiris that I like to eat. So basically in here is just their kimchi fried rice. And there's pork in there as well. And these are the sides that came with it. And then this is sriracha. So let's go ahead and get started. And I noticed they didn't roll them that nice because they're all like kind of falling apart. I'll eat them still. I don't care. I totally take that back. Man. All right. This one's going to be a messy one. Yeah, they did roll it really nicely this time. This is another one that's breaking, so I'm just going to eat it. I'm going to use my hands because it's going to break more of my chopstick. This here is just their pickled carrots and daikon, like how the Vietnamese pickle their carrots and daikon. And this one here is one of my favorites. It's the bean sprouts. And you basically blanch or boil them. You actually have to boil them for quite a while. And the trick to getting them soft, you basically, for the bean sprouts, you basically have to bring the pot of water to a boil. And then you throw it in there. You boil it, because I've made this mistake before. You boil it for a good like 10 minutes or so, and then you turn it off. And there has to be a lid on the pot and just let it steam. So they'll let it steam for like another 15 minutes. The steaming makes it really soft because I boiled it for like a really long time once, and they were still really hard. And I was like, why isn't it getting like soft? And so I just turned it off and I walked away, and I came back and they were all soft. So this is their kimchi. This is their radish. So the wraps I actually have. I have like a huge pack of like 40 of them. And then whatever you want, whether it's a fried rice or anything like that, or, you know, my original onigiri. I'll link down below how I make my original onigiri. And then it basically pretty much opens, and then it opens up there. And then you just slide this right on out, and it exposes the seaweed to capture the rice. And people like to do it this way so the seaweed stays fresh when you bite into it. Because you know, if you put like seaweed, like this here, the seaweed's been touching the rice. So the seaweed is really soft, whereas this one will be a nice crunch to it. really like seaweed around rice. And I really like their kimchi fried rice here too. They only use pork for some reason. They don't use beef. And for the gimbaps, they do it the same way I do. I do prefer homemade gimbaps. I feel like they're always a little bit better. But when I say the same way I do, I mean as in they put in the same kind of ingredients. It's just carrots, spinach, the pickled daikon, egg, and then a bit of the bulgogi meat. And I don't know if it's just the chefs, but today, can you see how much rice there is in here? This is a lot more rice than I would want in my own. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, it was my first time in over a month. Now I finally slept in my own bed. And it felt so good. It did take a while to fall asleep, but like I hadn't been sleeping here for a long time because in my apartment I have a hard time sleeping at night. I always kept waking up. So I've been sleeping over at my boyfriend's. And I get a lot better sleep there. That was a really big piece. Now normally I have a triangle tool that I smush all the rice and whatever it is I want wrapped in here. But you don't have to use that. I actually can't find it today. And so I took like half of a measuring cup and I just packed it into the measuring cup and then I just plopped it out into here and I just wrapped it around. So it does not, you do not need that actual tool. Some people will roll and form the onigiris, the rice, into like a triangle themselves with their hands. But that's harder because the wraps are only a certain size. So if you make it bigger than that, it's a little hard. So I do find that half a cup is perfect to fit this. And you can do a little over half a cup too if you want. 1 cup might be pushing it. The only side dish I do not like, where they turn it into like kimchi ingredients, is the green onion one. It's literally stalks of green onion. And that's the basis of that kimchi. I do not like that one. And I can't eat like that raw of green onions. Like you know, some people, they can eat even raw white onions. Like they just peel it and they eat it like it's potato chips. I can't do that. I do prefer my green onions cooked. And if they're raw, I only like very little as a garnishment on my food. But even then, I'll try to avoid it. I remember the first time I had it at a restaurant, the green onion kimchi. You know, I was like, oh, I really like kimchi, so I'm pretty sure I'll like this. I remember I took a bite out of it, the kimchi green onion, and then I had to like run and quickly shove all this other food in my mouth because I wanted that taste gone. I didn't want to spit it out at the restaurant. That would have been really rude. The rice in here, it gets kind of hard to chew because it's kind of mushy, and I just really don't remember the Gimbaps being like this. I can't do these other two. There's just so much rice in here. It's so thick. Yeah, as you keep chewing, it gets mushy. And it's too mushy. Alright. I am done eating. Thanks for watching, you guys.